right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Broadmoor, Manitou, and Pikes Peak Cog Railway. Can you guys hear me up in car one, by the way? Everybody hear me okay? All right, good. All right, so I'd like to introduce our crew today. Driving the train, we've got our engineer, Taylor. Everybody say hi, Taylor.
Hi, Taylor.
And I'm your conductor, Wendy, and I'm going to be pointing out a few landmarks today and talking about the history of the area as we head up about 7 of our 8.9-mile track up to almost 13,000 feet today, up to a spot that we call the Saddle. Should get a beautiful view today. And like I said, we're going to stop the train for about 10 minutes and let you guys walk around inside the train and get some pictures. And then we'll come back down. So the Cog Railway has been open for 133 years. We opened in 1891, and we were open continuously all the way until 2017 when we shut down for about 4 years for a complete overhaul. And during that time, we redid our train tracks, and we got some brand new trains in from Switzerland, like the one that you're riding on today. And we also switched our manual track switches over to radio controlled track switches, so conductors like myself no longer have to actually get out of the train and manually switch the tracks every time we need to do that. So the entire project cost about $100 million, and it was funded by Mr. Philip Anschutz, and we are very grateful to him for that. So sit back and relax. It is a beautiful day. We're going to have a great time getting almost to the top of America's favorite mountain. Granite that's native to the mountain called Pikes Peak granite. It's about 900 million years old, made of mica, feldspar, and quartz. And it's broken into these shapes that you're seeing through a natural process of erosion called ice wedging. And that's just when water seeps into the cracks in the rocks, and then it freezes and expands and it breaks the rocks into these shapes that you're seeing. You'll notice the higher up the mountain we get, the smaller the rocks are going to get, and that's because that ice wedging process is happening more and more. Walk on a train. Yeah. So if anybody's in the market for a fixer-upper, coming up on the 3-seat side, we have the remains of an old fur trapper's cabin. It's got a nice open floor plan. West of the Mississippi. It can actually power 300 homes in Manitou Springs. And coming up on the 3-seat side, you'll notice a right frame house. Nobody lives there at the moment. That's the old caretaker's house, but the house is actually made from remnants of the old Halfway House Hotel. And as we pass by it, if you look straight to the back, you'll see an old stone building, and that's the old hydroelectric plant from 1925. There used to be a family that lived in that house until a couple of years ago. They were the caretakers for the hydroelectric plant. And now we're passing through the town of Rexton Park, population 0. And looking out on the 3-seat side, you'll notice a dirt road. That's the old caretaker's private drive. It's a 60-mile dirt road that wraps around all the reservoirs on the mountain. There are 9 man-made reservoirs on Pikes Peak and 1 natural lake, and that dirt road wraps around all of them. And no, unfortunately, you can't drive on it. It's primarily utilized by Colorado Springs Utilities. So do we have anybody on the train today from Wisconsin? Anybody from Wisconsin? Usually there's a couple of you. Well, our founder, Zalman Simmons, was from Kenosha, Wisconsin. He came up here in the 1880s on a 3-day burro trip to inspect some telegraph line insulators that he had invented. He thought that it was the most uncivilized trip he had ever taken in his life, but he did want other people to be able to see the beautiful view that he had seen. So he went back to Wisconsin and he raised $1.5 million to build the Cog Railway that you're riding on today. The first trip was June 30th, 1891. Anybody have a guess of how much a ticket was in 1891? $2? That's pretty close. It was actually $5. And that's the equivalent of about $165 in today's money. So you guys got a really good deal today. Became a runner-up to our national anthem. You may have heard of it. It's called America the Beautiful. Well, we like to think that this spot right here is what inspired Miss Bates to write America the Beautiful. So we call this Inspiration Point. Also, you guys are welcome to stand in your seats if you want to get better photos, but please stay out of the center aisle. And folks looking around, you'll notice a sudden lack of trees, and that's because at 11,500 feet, we're getting up above the tree line, where the temperature, wind, and soil quality just aren't adequate for trees to grow. And if you take a look at Mount Almagre across the way over there, you get a pretty good idea of what a tree line looks like. And we call that Calendar Mountain because it's exactly 12,365 feet in elevation. Looking up ahead on the two-seat side, you guys will notice an old stone house. And that's our old section crew house. They used to live there in the summers. Many years ago, we had a section foreman named Bruce Taggart who lived there with his wife. They actually had a baby in that house named Johnny. Well, when Johnny Taggart got to be a little bit older, he came to work for the COG as an engineer, and he was actually the last person to ever take a steam engine up the COG in 1958 before we switched over to diesel. The bighorn sheep are showing up on the two-seat side. Looks like mamas and babies.
That's so cool. They're coming towards you. They're coming towards you.
Of course,
Alright folks, so now that we're on our way back down, it's a good time to talk about brakes. So on this train we've got 3 separate braking systems. We've got a dynamic brake that the train is constantly adjusting, keep us at a constant speed on the way down. And we've also got 2 sets of air brakes that help us to be able to come to a complete stop. But if all 3 of those fail, they were really thinking when they built the tracks, and they put 2 giant springs down at the bottom in case of a runaway train. Yep, they're called Manitou Springs and Colorado Springs. I know, that's an oldie but a goodie. We've actually been telling that joke since the 1950s. But don't worry guys, the jokes are all downhill from here, I promise. So on the way back down, I'm going to be walking down the aisle, checking on everybody. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. I know one of the number 1 questions we get asked in situations like this.
Here I was like practicing for like 3 or 4 times since I've been up on the same mountain, still falling on my butt. This car very shredded. It's gonna probably go down to 40s in the first year. Sharp rocks, there's cliff sides. I come back to space call. I'm like, oh, there's this crazy guy. He's just like shred. So yeah, that was me. It's like, what time was it? It's like, around 10 a.m. It's like, that's when I was going up to check my tour. Like, yeah, that was me. I was there at 12 by himself. Very good. It's up there once every other day. He doesn't like buying season passes because he does countryside, which is more hard for us to snowboard in the because they have a bar inside. So you get to the bar and you get this some food and stuff around here. So we stay there. I get some drinks, some fun.
like Jesus. I thought it was great. And I got some stems. Stems, and I got the windows. I'm surprised they're still here because they usually go down to a lower elevation in the winter, but they haven't moved yet.
All right, guys, so we are just about back at the depot. How about a big round of applause for Engineer Taylor for getting us back safely? Thanks, Taylor. All right, so if I can get everybody to look around your area, make sure you've got all of your belongings with you and trash. If you do leave anything on the train, we do have a lost and found in the ticket office. And it looks like we are going to be coming in on track 2 and exiting off of the 3-seat side. So that is the opposite side from where you guys got in the train. So if you get out of the train and you need to go to the restroom, you're just going to take a left as you exit the train, and it's located down at the end of the tracks. If you follow that around and go to the other side of our tracks, you'll run into the gift shop if you guys want to head in there and look for a souvenir. And if you just want to head back out to the parking lot to your car, you can just go straight up the blue staircase and over the bridge, and that'll take you straight out to the parking lot. And on behalf of Taylor and myself, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us so much today, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much. Guys, please sit down. The train has not stopped, so do not walk around the train yet. Once again, wait until you hear that whistle blow. That means that the brakes are set and it's safe to get up and exit the train. We've got in the train. So if you get out of the train and you need to go to the restroom, you're just going to take a left as you exit the train, and it's located down at the end of the tracks. If you follow that around and go to the other side of our tracks, you'll run into the gift shop if you guys want to head in there and look for a souvenir. And if you just want to head back out to the parking lot to your car, you can just go straight up the blue staircase and over the bridge, and that'll take you straight out to the parking lot. And on behalf of Taylor and myself, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us so much today, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Another
packing your dinner.
No, I'm gonna do it. Myself. That's what my job is. So let me see. I'll just do it at my designated time.
Guys, please sit down. The train has not stopped, so do not walk around the train yet. Once again, wait until you hear that whistle blow. That means that the brakes are set and it's safe to get up and exit the train.